Oh Lord, it's been forever today. Jeez, peace and release. What's going on, y'all? And welcome to another episode of I couldn't even get it out right now. Dominique the podcast. Who can't even? That's I couldn't even get the old name. I mean, they done had me shook over this presidential thing. I keep waking up in the morning hoping Joe Biden's still the president elect. You know, I still every morning I wake up, I be like, let me turn on the news
Right.
and see if this thing's still cracking or if they done pulled a show enough fast one on us.
Right.
Because you
Hey,
can't
Dominique,
trust this thing.
you gotta do a take two.
They
Take two.
take two.
Yeah, take two.
What's up, Ashley Campbell checking in with us? Y'all give it up for my very funny guest, Dean Edwards. I've been knowing both of these guys for a long time. Most of my guests that come on here that you've seen so far, we've been down for years and years and years. So I really know them. I have some people on here that I'm just getting to know, but I still respect them and I like them. But these dudes right here, these some vets. So y'all give it up for Dean Edwards, straight out of Brooklyn, New York, and Marvin Hunter down in the ATL. You know what it is?
The
And the A holding all the cards down there for real.
Right.
Who would have thought Atlanta? Who would have thought Atlanta was the plug, Ma?
Man, Atlanta came through. I mean,
yes, they did.
Hey, they still. Hey, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced because Trump is a lunatic.
Yeah.
Word.
So for real. So I want to relax, but I can't.
Nah. Not until February. On Valentine's Day, we'll all be like, yeah, he good. They in there. They moved in.
Yeah. Because you don't never know what pocket he gonna come out of. Right. And when you dealing with somebody that's crazy and that's plumb out their mind, you don't never know what they got up their sleeve, and especially when you see a whole bunch of people going along with the shenanigans. That's what bothered me. A whole bunch of grown people going along with the shenanigans. Do y'all think? Let me ask you. Do you really think it was any fraud, or this just another one of the games in the play that we done seen for the last 4 years?
Well, he's go ahead. I'm sorry, Marvin. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I don't think it's no fraud. I think he's just being a sore loser, and he being the clown that he is.
Yeah.
I think you knew what it was gonna be when he started saying, you know what, if I don't win, like think about how absurd it is to say if I don't win, it's fraud. He didn't say either way it goes, I know something's fixed. He said if I lose, it's all a fraud. Yeah. But he didn't say if he wins, it's gonna be a fraud. So that right there is the fallacy.
Yeah, if for sure is. And I don't understand why he don't want the checks. I don't know why he want all the states checked. Why it ain't fraud in the ones you won? Yeah, Joe Biden can say that's fraud. You know what I mean? Since we call him BS fraud on everything, then that's fraud.
It feel like we living through a movie, a superhero movie. He's a villain. We just on the sideline just kind of rooting. Where's Batman? Like, where is the Batman? Somebody come get this boy, man.
He has a cat. He has a cat on his lap. He's like, what else can we do to usurp the system? Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's almost. Go ahead, Ma. Go ahead.
No, people, say that it might be over dramatic to say it, but I mean, I truly believe, man, this dude evil, man.
Yeah, I think he's a horrible person. You know what I mean? Like people always try to say, I've heard several people say, first of all, when people talk about Joe Biden and they want to tell you how great Donald Trump is, they never tell you his policies. That's the first thing. They never start with, you should really agree with this man because he has all these great policies for us.
Right.
For people of color, indigenous people, if you want to say it that way, he has all these policies for us. But he doesn't say. They never say. They can tell you everything about Joe Biden, but you talking about why Donald Trump good for me? Sell him to me. If you think I like Joe Biden, sell this man to me. But how you gonna sell him to me and tell me to get over that he racist? How do that work? I'm supposed to ignore everything he say out his mouth but look at the policies. I don't know how to put that part together. You know, now he racist, but don't listen to that. He got great policies for us. All the policies and stuff he coming up. He done piggybacked off of President Obama with that stuff. He's smart enough. Yeah. He in legislation, he doing everything to turn the clock back.
Yep.
But you know, everything. But don't
also anyone that's so full of themselves that I don't know if y'all seen it circulating or online, but the what's that That Now news, they put together like a greatest hits compilation of how he's better than and how he knows everything, and it's like about a 3 or 4 minute run of a compilation of just him saying, I know everything there is to know about finance. Oh, nobody knows more than me about finance. Nobody knows more. And you watch it and you're like, yo, this is insane that you know more than everybody.
And everything when it pertains to you gonna be better than it's ever been in the history of the world.
Yeah. And it's like if you ever worked a regular job, whether it's the breakfast manager at Bojangles or whatever, right. and your boss was such a narcissist, it would be a problem. You have to go to HR or something. This dude would be a problem. And it's like what's so sad is that 70 million people voted for him. More people voted for him this time than last time.
Right, more. What was it? 55% of white women. The number went up.
That's upsetting. That's upsetting because it's like Biden is inheriting a racist soup sandwich. Like he really is.
Right.
And then you got to think too. If Trump do get out of office, you think he's gonna go away quietly? He got 80 million followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's gonna still be out there causing problems.
Yeah.
Right. And man, this is what I get in trouble when I say this sometimes, but because these people say they're not. Now, I look at the people that voted for him. When I look at him and the things I know of him, and I look at him in totality, the people that voted for him, in my mind, they racist. You know what I'm saying? But it's people that say that's wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's wrong. All 70 million of them people not racist. Right. So then I step back and then I say, well, maybe it's the way I was brought up. I know when I see a pimp talking, you know, I'm from a hood in Southeast Washington, D.C. So maybe it's my upbringing that I see when somebody talking out, like we say in D.C., out of both sides of their neck and trying to say me swamp lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's that, but I'm saying to myself, what is it about him? You grown. A lot of these people grown, make good living. Some of them don't. Some of them down in the boonies.
A lot of them
have no money, but a lot of them are down there, don't have nothing, and just don't know no better. You know, and they just mad. You know, I don't even understand how you got white privilege and you mad. Who you mad at? You mad at your own people because your own people they didn't take advantage of it. How you mad at me? Because your people wanted to sit down there and smoke, sell them lights and drink liquor and fight each other and didn't get y'all out this rut. That's my fault. That's people of color's fault. So I want to ask y'all how y'all feel about these people. Like what do you think these people saw in this man that they want to stand with this man like that?
I think that, you hear all the time, everybody that voted for Trump is not racist, but white people that voted for Trump are not racist. However, racism ain't a deal breaker for you, so you racist. If racism ain't a deal breaker for you in a leader, then you know better than the racist. Now, on top of that, too, hoes gonna hold up for hoes. Assholes gonna hold for assholes. People who lack integrity gonna hold up for people who lack integrity.
Right.
Everybody out there, including the black folks, if you on that, well, I got more money under Trump, and you willing to look over his lack of empathy, his lack of compassion, him being a horrible human being, and where in history has black folks ever had a white person who lacked empathy and charged up and it went well for us? Never. So you that type of Negro, you some kind of clown too.
Well, what you think, Dave?
Well, you know what? My wife and I, we were talking about that, and you hear that she actually had a conversation with a neighbor that was a Trump supporter. They were having a conversation, and then it came out that the one was a Trump supporter. This is on this Saturday afternoon. My wife's out front, and so then my wife actually unzips her jacket, and she has a Biden Harris t-shirt on, but they had a conversation, right? And do I think this woman is necessarily inherently racist? No, but I think she's racist adjacent. And because if you're compliant to vote for him is to support any and everything he's done, anything and everything he said, whether it's the proud fools stand back and stand by. They're good people on both sides with these militias and Nazis. Whether it's calling Black Lives Matter a terrorist organization when they're protests. I don't even like using the word peaceful protest. I think that's become like a key word. But I'm like, people out there protesting, and most of the people weren't destroying anything. So saying it was peaceful is redundant, right? But everything he said, going off what Marvin offered, this dude has never shown any compassion, any empathy towards anybody. No. And you raise children. We all were raised to do the right thing, the golden rule, and you don't get that from him. And to me, I was in the military, and there's a lack of leadership. There's a lack of leadership qualities. Now am I looking at Biden saying that this is our savior? No, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
At all. But I'm like, okay, you got to acknowledge that there's a problem first. That's, to me, that's been one of the biggest problems this country faces. If someone's an alcoholic, the only way for them to get out of their alcoholism is to admit that they have a problem. This country and the powers that be that run this country don't want to just say, my bad. There's been no my bad, right?
None. It's been none.
Right. We might have. What about slavery? Well, that happened way back then. Yeah, but we can't heal through it until y'all address it. Yeah. Right? Until we address that there's a problem. And until you allow people, Black people, to express that without you saying, oh, here we go again. Because no one else has suffered from PTSD the way Black people have in America.
Nobody.
And not been allowed to address it with that. But that's the guilt. That's the white guilt that bubbles up. You can't get mad at somebody can't get mad because you do me wrong for years, and I'm supposed to just roll over and be like, all right, we cool now.
Yeah.
Mario Willis said they didn't vote. He feels like the people, it's a us against them thing. And he said a lot of people think that Biden is a socialist and they fear socialism, that they didn't vote for Trump. They voted against Biden and the socialists. But Biden being a socialist, in my opinion, Mario, that came from what Donald Trump said. You still listening to him? This is all some of the stuff that he put out there, like Sleepy Joe, and he in the bunker, and he's scared, and all these playing the dozens.
The fear mongering.
And the bullying. He's a great big old bully. So they think he is social, but
and honestly, people use the terms socialism because it's the word that you hear you hear the right say, but there are a lot of policies that we utilize that are socialism. Whether it's Social Security, like people overlook.
Whether it's bailing out Wall Street. That's socialism. Right. They don't have a problem with socialism when it benefits them. But when it benefits them, it's fine. But when it comes to you, and the American people needing help. Now it's socialism, and you need to go out there and pull yourself up by the bootstrap. And the thing that get me is Donald Trump so quick to talk about that, and he didn't do it.
Yep.
He didn't pull himself up by the bootstraps.
Right.
He had a whole rich daddy that gave him everything numerous times to get him to where he is. So even Jared Kushner with his statements about what we don't want to do. You ain't done nothing. That's why your daddy locked up now.
Yeah.
You ain't pull yourself up. You sitting from a nepotism place. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's nothing wrong with nepotism.
I think nepotism is a wonderful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
If you're receiving it, if you have receipts for it.
Because I've been in a part of a family business and stuff like that, so I know how that works. The only problem I have with nepotism is I think whoever you get a job to, they need to be to do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get a job to a cold monkey and pay a monkey 6 figures and then don't want the rest of the workers to say nothing. But other than that, I don't see there's nothing wrong with helping your people, but don't get on your high horse and get to talking. You talking what you talking about.
Right. And then you go back to, they keep saying socialist, then you use it in the military. I was in the military. The military is socialism. They do everything. So they literally do everything for you. Everything is there. So when they say that, man, I wouldn't care. Dude, I would have voted for a fire hydrant if it was Trump. I didn't care, dude. I really didn't care. I'm not.
Thanks, Jay.
Biden. I'm not impressed with Biden at all.
No, me.
But Trump has to go. You know, there's somebody like him. Anybody in a position of leadership, a pastor or whoever who feels like they're above the process and they don't set the example, that is a horrible leader, and he's leading you off a cliff.
Yeah. I agree. And because if you're in a family, if daddy ain't worth a damn, it's gonna be harder for you to be worth a damn because you're following his example, right? That Biden and Kamala were announced the winners on Saturday. Worldwide, collectively, there was a worldwide exhale. There was a worldwide, right? That means something, you know, because I have people in Dubai, you have people in South Africa, people, you know, in Europe. Everybody is on some Eveline is dead. Can you feel the new day? You know, everybody's celebrating that, and the fact that you are hiding on your golf course only speaks truth to power and lets us know, you feeling it. You feeling it. You like we ain't heard Ned tweet.
Nah, you in the bunker, bruh. He in the bunker. You the scared one. You sleepy Donald. I mean, listening to Joe Biden give his acceptance speech, it was because we've been listening to the Donald Trump, and I guess I could say, you know, once you get our age, this is the bad part about it. I ain't used to care about the news. I ain't look at the news like that. I was into what I was into. But you get our age, you get to looking at the news. You got to be informed. You get close to Social Security. You got to know about the damn AARP. You know, you got to stay informed. They cutting Social Security. Who? I be up on that in about 15. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing that came from this election. If people are informed now who were never informed, they don't know what's going on.
I've been on it to a fault ever since President Obama. I've been on it to a fault. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, when Joe Biden was talking and he was standing up there, I've been so used to over the 4 years listening to Donald Trump ramble on and talk like a fool. I had to really focus. I said the clown and gave me ADD. I had to focus in and say, what is Joe Biden saying? Wait a minute, what is he saying?
Right. You turned on the closed caption on your TV.
We need some boring. We need some boring. I want a boring president.
I want a boring president.
I don't want to wake up every day and have to say, what did he do today?
Yeah, what did he do today?
Every day.
Get to tweeting, get to talking about women real bad. I mean, he can't help himself.
Yep.
I'm trying to understand. I'm like, you can't help yourself, bro. What is going on with you? And he know he going. I think he buying himself some time because he got to see them people in New York. And I used to live in the Bronx for many years, boogie down. And anytime you got a date with that state, don't too many people bypass that one, not the Big Apple.
Yeah. Nah.
A lot of people are saying, well, why is all the black people calling Donald Trump racist now? Before he was president, he'd be taking pictures with all the black celebrities.
The Snoop Dogg,
I have not liked the dude ever since the Central Park 5. I never forgot that. I never
cared for him. I never cared for him either.
Yeah. I was supposed to do something. They did this comedy thing with The Apprentice years ago, and I remember, when you feel a tremor in the force. My agent called me, and I was like, I'm good. We're gonna cool off on.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, and it was on NBC, but I was like, no. All money ain't good money.
No, you gotta have if you got integrity in the business we in, it's gonna take you a long way. You gonna sustain. It's gonna. Jay Bliss told me tell y'all what's up. I know y'all all know Jay Bliss.
What up, Bliss?
So Bliss said we having a good combo. He said in the hear McCain and George H.W. Bush get their concession speech, show support for a united country. Right. We all over the place at this point.
Yeah. Right.
And nobody's safety is none of us are safe because we so divided right now.
Yeah.
Right.
The ones that stand with Biden, they say we want handouts. And the other ones that stand with Donald Trump, they don't even realize they getting handouts. Yeah. You talking about voting against your own interests. Come on now.
Right.
But I just be glad when he gone and we can stop hearing about him.
And that's also key because once he's gone, and this is where the media needs to just turn him off. Yeah. Like even because you give him power, right? You give him power by addressing him, and a narcissist like that, the best thing you can do is not talk about he's become Lord Voldemort, he who shall not be named. Yep. If you don't say that man's name, you don't give him no energy, and he's gonna lose his mind.
And then also, if either of us three go on Twitter and violate their policies so many times, they're gonna shut our page down. He has done it so many times.
They are.
Put a page down.
Yeah.
Bliss
Jay Bliss say we need aliens to attack to finally come to become united.
Man, it's crazy.
And then have Will Smith save us.
Man. Because the fact that 70 million people, after everything he's done, 70 million people still voted for him. That's actually kind of scary a little bit. Like,
and I'm like, we don't. How do they not see what I see? That's what is weird to me. I'm like, what are they not seeing? I mean, like Mario,
it makes you think you crazy, right? Like,
it makes you think you crazy.
Right.
It makes you think you crazy. You like, what don't I see? Like even with the rappers supporting him, like Lil Wayne came out and supported him and these people, and I understand, tax brackets and that kind of stuff.
I don't understand.
No, I'm saying I understand how that works. That's what I'm saying. I understand how that works. But at some point, you gotta say to yourself, man, I gotta pay the extra money or whatever, because I can't rock with you. I just can't rock with you. That's what I want to ask y'all too. Now we know, shout out to all the black women, shout out to us. Yeah. Because it's already been reported we held it down.
Oh yeah.
What went on with a lot of the black men? If you all have an insight to that, or if you have heard anything of that, what happened with a lot of the black men outside of that Joe Biden 94 crime bill conversation? Because I've asked, family members and stuff, and they have said that, but I felt like I hear you on that, but to me it has to be something more. I thought it might be something more to that than just that policy from 1994.
I don't think people read thoroughly. I don't think people do research. I think I think especially the beauty of the internet is you have access to all the information.
Okay.
The detriment of the internet is you have access to all the information, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. And it's easier, I think, for people to jump on one story and just run with it. And that's anything. That's not just in the political cycle. That's if someone says it, it becomes the news, and it's harder to get that retracted once it's out there. You know, people aren't going to go do the research. People are lazy. I think that, you know, and especially over the last 8 months, we all had, you know, grand ideas on what we we're going to do and write that screenplay finally and read multiple books finally. And I started a book in April, you know, but
when you start the book,
I started that book April 4th. I read 7 pages, and I'm on page 11. You know, 7-8 months later. But it's easy for someone else to send you, you know, a meme of the 94 crime bill. It's easy for people to go to the barber shop and hear people talk about you know, Kamala Harris being Kamala. You know, I'm still learning. You know, it's because I grew up on Kamala, the Ugandan giant in the WWE.
I remember him.
So every time I say it, I'm like, am I saying it wrong or right?
I just got into it with my cousin. He gonna say, yeah, I guess Kamala be okay. I said, who? I said, who?
You know, like, we're gonna have to deal with that, right?
Yeah,
we about to have to deal with that a lot.
We're gonna have to deal with that. I always correct everybody. It's calm. I told my cousin, you know, when he don't have nothing to say, he always say, I told him, I said, if it was a man, you'd be saying it right. He'd be like, oh, here we go. I said, no, but you can't call her that lady Kamet. And it ain't even like her name hard to say, but people, at least Dean got closer. You know what I'm saying? He's right. I'm sorry, Dean. Finish your point. I'm sorry.
No. So that pretty much my point is, I don't think people do enough individual research to form thorough opinions, and because like Marvin said, you know, a lot of people weren't really fully aware of the political process, you know, until recently. You know, I didn't watch the news as much as my dad did, but I'm a dad now, and I'm older and more mature, so I forced myself to watch it to an extent, because I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't watching. I had to disconnect from the Matrix last week because it was so much. You know, it becomes so much.
Stressful.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you think that's one of the reasons black men was just like, now I ain't gonna say a lot of them, because a lot of them did vote for Biden, but I'm gonna say more than maybe usual that would have voted for Trump. You think that had a lot to do with what you say, Marv?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Hey, and this definitely a rough some further out. You know, I don't give a damn. But every dude that I know that voted for Trump is an asshole like Trump. Every single black, not just dude, black person, female included, they assholes. They lack empathy, they lack integrity, and they roll with somebody like that. He's their kind of person.
Right.
You know,
okay.
I don't know if y'all heard, but how many times you heard people? You know, I kind of like Trump. He say what he want to say. You know, it's like, are you serious?
Yeah. Oh, how many times y'all heard this one? Well, you know, black people, we started off as Republicans. Come on, man. Come on. When I hear that again,
but again, that's something that somebody saw in a post and ran with. Yeah, they didn't do the research on that.
You talking about when Abraham Lincoln was president? That's what I be saying. You talking about wait a minute. Are you talking about when Abe Lincoln was president? Come on, you got to come a little bit more to Abe. We wasn't none of us here when Abe Lincoln was president. It's not a single solitary living human being still alive that was dead when Abe Lincoln was president.
Right.
And then you get to the point where you go tell them about, well, you know, there was Dixiecrats, and then they flipped over and they became Republicans. And then, where you get that from? I ain't never heard. Hey, man, go read.
I read. Read.
Oh.
Like Jay Bliss said, we started out as slaves too. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a point with that. And then you say a lot of people say, "Oh well, he a good businessman." Is he?
He's not.
He's not. You're a good. I'm a good businesswoman. If my daddy keep giving me millions of dollars to figure it out, I'm a hell of a businesswoman. If I keep calling my father, "Daddy, I need another 200 million."
Yeah, you can't go bankrupt that many times.
Yeah.
And people still say you good.
Yeah.
You can't have a third wife and then get mad at Barack Hussein Obama and his wife like that. When I would hear people everything that they gave to Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, the Obama family, and then the hypocrisy of that same energy, that same judgment towards this current administration, that's that made me lose even more respect for so many people, but I also knew where it was coming from, because like, all right, you want to see the destruction of the Black family anyway, so how dare they have the audacity to both have gone through well, not both, but Barack went to Harvard and Michelle became this amazing lawyer. They were accomplished, and that totally was they were Cosby Show. They were Claire and Cliff. And there were people, like you said, there were ignorant people on the Black side. They're like, I ain't with all that. Why?
Yeah, they was mad because he was corny. Yeah, okay. What? First of all, the type of Negro that a lot of Black people wanted Barack to be would have never got elected.
Right.
No,
he ain't do nothing for Black people.
Yes, he did.
Right.
And then, then they say he ain't do nothing for Black people, but then they don't talk about the other side of this. Is where I get upset. I don't like. Yeah, but do you speak about he had the Senate was the party of no? Have we forgotten that the Republican House and Senate, they decided that? I think he did great considering what he was dealing with. They were the party of no. That everybody that forgot that.
Yeah.
Who slip is showing real bad is the white evangelicals right now.
Oh, they slipped on real bad.
Oh my God. The Paula White and them clowns, it's amazing to me. Like you'd say Barack Obama was sent here by the devil, and then he's everything we tell our children not to be. He's everything y'all preach against. Everything. But you get on TV and say he was sent here by the Lord.
Right. And if Trump a man of God, that should keep everybody. Trump church gonna fall off. Even Christianity gonna fall off if Trump a man of God.
Because he had the Bible upside down in that photo.
Yeah, man, did he look like a clown in that photo or what?
Yeah, man.
He had the Bible upside down. He don't know. He ain't never been to church. They ain't raised up on no church. You look at him and tell the stuff he say out his mouth. He ain't even trying to pretend to be a man of God. Right. And evangelicals, it comes to a place in my mind where evangelicals is, I don't want to hear no more about the abortion thing. I don't want to hear that, because there's people out here that's hurting and y'all ain't running to that cause. And don't get me wrong, I know God is real and I'm a believer. Don't misunderstand where I'm coming from. But the way they set up this institution, you can ask some questions about that. Don't tell me about a fetus not being born, and I can ride up and down the street and see people with tents and homeless. So the living don't count.
Right. They don't care about the baby. They only care about the baby when he's in the stomach.
Ain't that something?
As soon as he come out, they want to cut the WIC. They want to cut all the SNAP program. They want to cut everything that benefits that baby. They don't only care about it when he's born.
I don't want to hear about that. This man, you telling me you voting on that? No, you voting on power and comfortability, and a lot of it, you got a lot of little racism of your own going on in these things. Yeah. Like I had someone tell me, they was like, well, where are all the pastors at? Well, pastors, a lot of them don't really speak out because I don't know if people remember the faith-based initiative through the George Bush administration, but with that initiative, that kind of calmed them down and kind of made them stand on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? To be like, we gonna chill. You had some that'll still step out and say, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna try to help the people. It's not all of them. I don't want to say nobody monolithic, but it's not all of them. But they really, really. I don't know how they voted for them, and I have people that are in my family that are really, really rooted in the word, heavily evangelical, and they have had issues with their friends about this dude.
Yeah,
because it don't add up. If you even read the word or anything, he don't go. Yeah. So why you standing with him? He ain't no antichrist. Y'all talking about? He a demagogue. What y'all talking? I'm like Marvin. I mean, sometimes I be like, maybe I'm the crazy one because I don't see it like that.
Yeah, y'all having the black friends that you see so different now. Like it's hard for you to you struggle with how to get past.
Yeah, you do.
Man, I got a few. Oh my God.
Yeah, people that and you stuck with them. Like it's not like it's no, you know what I mean. Like is different with the neighbor that was walking by. We don't, we see her a couple of times a week walking by, and if you see out, you can just choose to not go because you don't feel like interacting. But you have family or loved ones or close friends, and you saw their truth over the last 4 years, and now you look like,
it's hard. It's hard for me.
You like word.
Yeah, you feel that way about him. He a businessman. Didn't I don't like this quote either. Well, if you a racist, I like to know that you a racist. At least you telling me to my face. Come on.
Right.
That is the most ridiculous argument. They say that as like. So I had a couple comedians tell me that, right? So I said so we comedians, and the biggest sin is stealing jokes. I say, so you get a dude, he take your joke and he go to Oklahoma to some off the wall club, and you hear about he remixed it or something. But then you got a dude who's actually on the show with you, and he your feet, and he get in front of you and he say the joke word for word. Who is worse? Who is worse?
Who worse?
Right. That's a good analogy.
Who did the joke right in front of you don't give a damn about you, and you won't kill him. You know,
right.
Well, I'd rather to be racist to my face. Like, get out of here, man.
Right. Again, that became the thing to say. Like, one of the problems that I've always had with social media is we were all raised, and your family, your parents tell you, you're going to be a leader of men and women. And then as soon as you get on social media, you got to seek followers. And everyone's followers and likes. And then you think about the science behind the nerd that created this all, right? Mark Zuckerberg is a nerd, and no disrespect to any nerd. Right. Couldn't get friends, couldn't get girlfriends, had nobody wanted to be his. So he created something that it was a projection of what he wanted. And now we all succumb because we seek followers, and we want people to follow us and like us. And psychologically, you get addicted to all that. Like Marvin, I love the clip that was going around that with the buses and your commentary. I thought was brilliant, because it was poignant and refined, and anyone that sees this, y'all go find it. But even myself, like I saw it the first time, say maybe on DL's page. And anytime I see something posted on somebody's page, I go to the original poster's page to like it, right? Because I'm like, well, if you're gonna share it, at least share it and say, this is who. Look, I'm pointing at you on the box like the Brady Bunch, like, this is who posted it, so show them the love. Right? Don't give me the love, because it wasn't my original thought. They're just sharing it, saying it's a brilliant statement. That's people see it, hear it, find it online, and then retweet it, repost it as their own thought because they feel that way. or maybe they don't, and they're like, oh, that's just, I like that ideology, you know. So people aren't really taking ownership and formulating their own opinions, in my opinion.
And then it's something to be said too. Like you know, we all around same age. I'm about to be 50, so I remember when, I remember when stupid people had to be quiet. Y'all remember that? That was a wonderful. That was a wonderful time. It was a great time to be alive.
Yeah.
Stupid, and you had a history of being stupid. Big Mama, somebody at his table like, man, shut your ass up. Somebody was there. They would shut you down because you have a history of being dumb, and they didn't want to hear that. But now social media, everybody is equal. Everybody gets a platform, even the dumb ones. And so the dumb ones find the dumb ones. It's like they put up a pheromone. They can find. And now it's a million dumb ones, and they strengthen numbers. So now they right. You know what I'm saying? And they just dumb.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. You know, we gotta say, my grandma, we always had the same. What my grandmother said, it's one thing to be presumed a fool, and it's another to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Yeah, we ain't do well with fools. Dean, that was a good point you make about stealing posts, because I didn't even look at it like that. So everybody post you suppose, because I do it. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't look at it like this. So everybody's post I use, I supposed to retweet, right? I mean, say where I get that from. Okay, I'm gonna start doing that.
And I don't think people do it in a malevolent manner. I don't think people are saying, "Oh, let me," because clearly, if someone posts it and they don't look like Marvin, then clearly it's not them, right?
Right.
But I just think there's it's the wild, you know, social media is the wild west. You know, anything goes. It's unregulated. Anything goes, and you know, we should self-regulate. You know, especially as creatives. I think creatives, you gotta give creatives that just do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when it becomes viral.
Yeah, I try not to take it too serious. I know 50 Cent reposted, and he got 23 million followers, and he didn't tag me in, and other people were more mad than I was.
Right.
Because I did it on knee jerk. Because I seen it, and I was so angry, I turned the camera on immediately and said something. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so, but you could tell it was that it was pure. That's what I dug about. I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah,
you could tell that you were just speaking from the heart. You didn't rehearse it. Yeah. And to me, those are the best moments when it just comes. You know, it's like, you know, you're preaching a sermon, and we just rode the wave. And that is corny that 50 didn't get. And in fairness to 50, he might not have even known, because wherever he got it, might not have.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling him. He might not even known, you know. So
yeah,
but it would have been nice.
I mean, I don't do it a whole lot. I try to do it a lot, but I have done. But I think that's good IG etiquette. To give the credit when you see a great post or something, that is good IG credit. Yeah. Greg on here, one of the people, he said, some people steal other people's stuff without searching. Then he said that Greg said they always stealing other people posts on IG. We're gonna try to change other people posting shit. So Greg done been robbed, and he ain't like that. So you made a valid point. So
okay,
we're gonna try to change.
Hold your head up, Greg. You gonna get you there, son.
We're gonna try to change the tide on that. But we also gonna work on saying the Vice President of the United States name correctly. Everybody gotta work on that. Her name is Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
Not Komet, not Kamala.
I don't even know where Komet came from.
Yeah, my cousin talking about, I think Komet gonna be all right. That ain't no, she's not.
Komet, isn't that ancient Egypt?
I don't know, but that name ain't no Komet.
You know, mess up some days.
Yeah, women always gotta fight for it. We always in this constant fight because we women. Whatever her name is, Shorty that had on the white suit. No.
Shorty.
Yeah, you ain't about to do that either, her name. Or you can just call her Miss Harris or Vice President Harris.
VP Harris, yeah.
VP Harris till you figure it out how to say her name. Like Kamala, like a comma and Mala. You know,
right. That's a good, but that's a good way of Kamala. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's a comma.
I'll never forget now because you said that.
Yeah. I wasn't worried about you, Dean, because Tracy wasn't having it. You wasn't about to keep
because she's an AKA too.
So. Absolutely, okay. I know, Tracy. Eventually, you was gonna come through, dude. She what Tracy would be like, you know what? That's not her name. That is not my soror's name. Okay, so no. So yeah, that we got to work on that and then once again, that came from demagogue Trump. He started all that whole Republican thing. That's one of the reasons I hope that, and I know they will in Georgia, they're gonna pull out them Senate seats. They already shown when they get to work, they get to work. And shout out to Stacey Abrams, because Stacey Abrams, she got through to the people in Georgia, and I know that she gonna get through as it pertains to this Senate race before she go, because I'm sure President-elect Biden gonna give her a job, but she gonna have. Yeah, I think I hope so too. I think and if he don't, we gonna have to say something about that too. We gotta say something to him about that. You miss one here, you gonna have to. I don't know. Somebody could be whoever you put in that position. They just her secretary now, and they get a good salary, but this her job. So I think that she will really have the people and help them understand that even with him being the president, if the Senate is the same Senate that was with Donald Trump, it don't matter because they're going to block anything he tried to do anyway. And I think if Georgia will come through like they did this time, because I just believe they will and flip that Senate. Go ahead, Dan. You were going to say something?
No, you know what I was going to say? She's a prime example of what leadership is supposed to look like.
Absolutely.
You know, they snatched that election from her.
Yes.
And instead of her, sitting around crying, she galvanized the people. She's for the people. That's what you do when you're for the people. You galvanize the people for the greater good. And that's what she did. That's the exact opposite of what you're seeing. Now I heard I was listening to the radio the other day, and someone made a good point, saying how every president, every previous president, as they were leaving, they wrote a letter to the incoming president, and you had Obama did it for 445, even if he didn't want to, even if he was reluctant to, he showed his statesmanship and he did it. And Bush 2 did it for Obama, and Clinton did it for Bush 2, and then Bush 1 did it for Clinton. But what's impressive is he thought he was going to win a second presidency. So everybody else that wrote this departure letter in support of the new president, they did it coming from a position of, well, I did my 2 terms, and so I wasn't running it anyway. But Bush 1, he lost, and he still had to write it, but he did. And that's what you do.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
This dude is not doing that.
No.
Like, he seemed like the type that on the final day of when he's going to take a dump and not flush and leave.
Oh yeah. Believe that.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's a prime example of everybody don't need to have children, though. Because his parents, they kind of, left some things by the wayside with this guy. A couple things. They didn't prepare him. They didn't set him up to be a good person and a morally right person. And thank God for his niece, Mary Trump. She didn't wrote the book, so she helped out a lot. She gave you an insight into Mary Trump saying, I'm Mary Trump, but I had to step off too, because they damn out they mind. I had to focus, but look how they did me. So when his niece started talking about how, I said, well, we don't stand a chance if that's how he treat his niece.
Right.
And people kept saying, well, he gonna turn the curve. He gonna be presidential. And I'm like, what 70-year-old? We almost 70-year-old. We all they not gonna change. So I don't understand. They kept saying he's gonna turn around. He's gonna turn the curve. No, he's not.
No, he's not. And they keep saying that. I thought in this moment he would be presidential. Why has he been it for 4 years? So right now he gonna step up and have all this coof and all this class and do the right thing. Quit saying that because he's not gonna do that.
He's not gonna do it.
He's not gonna do it. That ain't what he do. He disruptive and he cause chaos. That's when he thrive. He a drama queen. You know how some people, he a drama queen. He like drama. He love all this going on. He mad. He leaving. First of all, he don't want to face that bill he got in New York. And that's the first thing, because I do believe in they gonna lock him up in New York. They gonna lock because he talk too much. You know, sometimes you gonna get locked up off the strength. You think you untouchable. If they locked up Don, the Teflon Don, he's gone. You think you the Teflon Don, they gonna do just to you what they did to John Gotti. Get out of here. You think you Joe Pesci? Get out of here. Because that's when he be talking, he be acting like he in one of them gangster flicks. I say, you think he Joe Pesci or somebody?
Yeah, they gonna Tommy him. They gonna Tommy him like in Goodfellas.
They're gonna Tommy him. He gone.
And that's that.
And that's that.
That's that.
And somebody gonna be out there hitting their phone, crying. They're gonna be out there hitting their phone, saying they did it. Cause he gonna see the state of New York, and he clear on that. You know what I'm saying? He gonna see them people.
He's criminal, man. And it's like, what's so crazy? If it wasn't for COVID, he would be elected again. COVID is saved us. That's what.
He would have won again.
He did. You know, they just let it go. But
he would have won again. I believe that, Marv. He would have won again. And he might still have won with COVID if he wasn't so simple in his mouth. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I told him about it. I told him, I'm like, you know, he's dysfunctional, and he got a lot of dysfunctional people following him, but he will win again if he just shut his damn mouth.
If he shut up there,
he could,
but he couldn't, Marvin. To me, that's what was funny.
He could
actually over the last 4 years, because like you said earlier, you know, people were like, well, you know, he's finally gonna step up, and you're like, no, he's not. What? And every time he did something, you'd be like, okay, but for the first year, you're like, okay, but it can't get worse. And then it did. Right. And eventually, eventually you were like, oh, well, that's what Don do. That's what he do.
That's what he do. Set up here and turn the country to the Crips and the Bloods. You can't do that. How you gonna turn us to the Crips and the Bloods? But the blue state, I said, hold up, bro. Are you calling the United States of America the Crips and the Bloods based on political affiliation?
Right.
Okay, and if he want to be a part of the Crips and the Bloods, that's fine. I mean, he can go do that. You just can't run the country. Like, they still taking members. I heard they were still open. If he want to join one of them organizations, he want to be a Crip, that's fine. But you can't govern like that, dude. He turned us into the Crips and the Bloods. I couldn't believe
Joe Biden sea-walking.
Yeah.
There with everybody COVID. He still ain't he ain't got no comment about it. All these people that got COVID that work for him. Like,
I tell y'all.
It is still fake. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And then he got it. Yeah. And it's still fake. Allegedly. I don't know.
Did he get it?
Right.
Everybody in his party still. Ben Carson. He got it, man. He walking. He supposed to be a doctor. Herman Cain. Ben Carson claimed he a doctor. Yeah. And he's sitting up there with him. I was like, come on, dude. I say, this dude got to go. You got to have some kind of moral compass to run the United States of America. You know, you can't just be up there cold idiot. But it ain't bad in the blue states. I was like, if he say that one more time, somebody going to have to. I'm looking for the man that threw the shoe at George Bush. I'm trying to figure out.
What did that do, man?
He threw that French Rhino right at George Bush. George Bush like, whoa, where he at? I don't get it. I'm like, y'all just let. So when I look at him, this is when people say they don't understand white supremacy, right? I don't understand white supremacy. Donald Trump getting away with what he getting away with, as the president of the United States is white supremacy on a platter for you.
Yep.
It don't get no more clear than that. Yeah. President Obama said out his own mouth, can you imagine if I was acting like it? Come on.
Right. Which was so refreshing because we all been saying that for the last 4 years.
It really was. Yeah.
So it's nice to see him step up for himself.
Hey, he's sitting up there telling me, I don't want to hear that mess, man. I need the man with the shoe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that's going.
Where all the crazy people at, man? That's
where
crazy.
They at? Man. Crips and Bloods, and I hope they beat his ass in and beat him in and beat his ass in for a whole damn 4 years. Keep whooping that ass for 4 years.
I would pay to watch somebody beat his ass.
Yeah, that's all he need. He never had that.
Never had it.
He would calm down if he was ever in a situation where he was going back and forth with somebody, and it was his dude, the other dude, the guy he going back and forth with, his dude was standing there, the one that hit you, that just lean in the crowd and say, this the last sentence he gonna get out his mouth. And after this, I'm gonna put this one hitter quitter on him. If he get that, he'll change. I don't care what nobody say.
He ain't never been Bluka.
No,
he ain't never had somebody just laying on like
yeah. Like, and then he said with the insensitive stuff, like when a dude told him about 200,000 people died, he said it is what it is. Like, dude.
Yeah, come on, dude. Come on, dude.
You say that about an episode of Love and Hip Hop. You don't say that.
Right.
You don't say that about one person, let alone 200,000 people dying.
Hey, then he walked out on who he walked out on? Leslie, what was her name?
Leslie Stahl, right?
Leslie Stahl. I don't know why I want to call her Leslie Walters.
Oh, you make her Barbara.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, he walked out on her.
It's the same tribe.
Pretty much. When you get to ask him, and because he know he lying and he know what he doing and he know his downfalls and his insecurities and he knows the things, the areas that he not good at. So if you get him sitting there and you start asking him questions, he like, there you go again. She like, nah, you said this. Then Kaylee McEnany with her lying self, she walked in there with a big book that almost broke Leslie Stahl's arm. This is an older woman. You gonna give an older woman a 700-pound book of empty pages, and they think that lady was gonna read it. Yeah. I don't even respond to people on Twitter that much, but I had to get Kaylee McEnany. You're gonna sit there talking about they're celebrating in the street, them super spreader events. First of all, just like they don't say Kamala Harris' name, I did her like that. I say Kaylay. And that's how I spelled it, Kaylay. First of all, Shawty, you fired. That's the first thing.
Right.
And your administration that you worked for, they ain't do a damn thing about COVID because you know how I know? You and your co-workers had or currently have COVID. That's the first thing. Secondly, go pack your shit and mind your business.
Yeah.
And for your information, they at least wearing masks. Get out of here. What you talking about? You need to worry about that conundrum y'all got going on over there with that fool you've been lying for and following for 4 years, acting like he right. So
it's like the nation is so split. For the first time in my adult life, I've never seen it this bad.
Right.
Me
like
out,
even like here in the South, if you go out and you got a mask on, like a lot of white people don't wear masks, but like you enter places and they look at you crazy because you have a mask on.
Right. You have a mask on.
Yeah, it's just weird, man.
Well, somehow people think privilege is protection from germs, and it's not.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and we've seen cases where people actually followed. I can't think of the woman's name, but her dad was a supporter and went to a rally and died, and then she went on a whole anti-45 crusade. You know, which is unfortunate, but that's not the only case.
No, it's not.
I wear a mask because I want to, I'm just going by the guideline, but I mostly wear a mask. I'm just trying to be a good citizen.
Yeah.
A good citizen. Yeah. I don't know. I want to give you, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, these people.
And to all the people that even with the conspiracy theorists, like, nah, that's how they're killing us with the mask, and you breathe it in your own. I was in Japan last November, and I'd seen pictures from the Far East for the years. They've been wearing masks for a long time.
Yes.
And have a lot of people in China and Japan, and they've been fine. So I don't even know. But the misinformation campaign is powerful.
I think they wear masks too, Dean, because I noticed the same thing. I think they wear masks too because they live under that dictatorship, so they don't never know what they might put in the air,
yeah, that's true
or
too.
spray or sprinkle in the air.
Right.
I don't even care if they say stop wearing masks in the United States. I'm wearing mine to at least 2030.
I'm riding this out.
Hey, Mom, they ain't even gonna want to invite me nowhere. They gonna be like, "Cuz that shit been over for 7 years. She still waiting."
But
at least 2030.
In Tokyo, when I was there, Tokyo, China, people ask, but it's like, man, they can't social distance. No way. They are in your pocket. No, you get on Tokyo, man. They
on the train
in your chest.
They stuff. When we were over there, I got a funny video like last November, and it was just amazing to watch because when the subway comes in the morning, the train comes, and people were holding themselves in, and then there's like someone on the platform that walks in and stuffs people in.
Oh my God!
So the doors. So you actually, when we finally got on the train, we were like, double dutch. We gonna go for it. So we get on, and I was wedged in. I wasn't standing so much as I was just being held up by little Japanese people.
Bro, we not used to that as Americans, man. I know. And then, bro, cat be right here, his face. You can feel his breath, man. Like, you got to back up. But
man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different over there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So on this show, we have a segment where we call Air It Out. So what we do in this show is we air it out. We believe that laughter heals and that you need to laugh. So you got each guest on this show has 2 minutes to air it out. Is no topic. Whatever you want to get off your chest and whatever you don't think is right, you got 2 minutes to air it out and put it out there in the universe and let it go. Let me say we're gonna start with Dean. We're gonna kick it off with you, and I'm gonna tell you when you on the clock. Got 2 minutes.
I'm trying to get the topic. I'm
okay, we're gonna start with Marv. It can be anything, dude. All right, so we're gonna start with Marv. Marv, you got 2 minutes to air it out. You on the clock now.
Hey, I'm tell you like this. Since COVID been going on, man, you got all these people, then their lifestyle didn't change. You got people living with people. If you living with people, you gonna have to adopt their rules. You can't have your rules in somebody else's house.
No,
you gotta have they helping you. And when you have your children, this is what I hate. You bring your child to my house. I don't want to hear, can we turn to the cartoon? Because that's what they do at my house. You better probably let somebody up in the window and let him look outside at the birds and the bees, because I'm not turning the game off so they can watch Dora the Explorer. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? People really get out their way, man, when it comes to living with somebody else. And then house guests. How you gonna have somebody come to my house? And I don't know who this is. And he in my house with his feet kicked up on my furniture, looking at me like I'm a, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we dealing with, especially Big Mama and them right now. They dealing with a lot of that with their kids and grandkids staying back at the house. And my whole thing is, I know it's a bit of a rant, but it's some real shit. I want people to understand, when you go to other people's house, you gotta go by their rules, man. You gotta abide by other people's rules. You gotta
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Big Mama got her rules. You can't stay where I'm grown, because grown people have their own house.
Yeah.
You know, grown people have their own house, man. You know what I'm saying? So hey, that's what I want to get off my chest, because that's some stuff close to me right now.
Yeah, I was just saying somebody projecting right now.
Which means
who's been on your couch 2 months too long?
And I'm telling, and I done been in that position where I have lived with somebody, which means you need to be in there doing little extra things. You need to make sure you extra neat. Make sure the bathroom clean. Pick up them dishes. Let people realize I appreciate you letting me come into your space and to
let
the
them
comfort.
see the value
Let them
in you
see I'm a
being
good guest. Till I get on my feet, I'm a good guest. You know what I'm saying? That was all right, Dean. You on the clock now, Dean.
You know what? I'll talk about so a good friend of ours, Mark Theobald. Mark just bought a new car. He bought a 2021, right? It's his first, I think it's Mark's first time buying a brand new car in life. And so I drove him to the dealership and I was proud of him. I'm happy because he's writing season 4. Last OG just started. They're writing on it. And it made me, I saw someone like as he was getting in the car outside of the dealership, and this woman kind of rolled her eyes, and it made me realize that somebody's going to think that this is a midlife crisis vehicle that he's buying because a man of a certain age buying a new vehicle. And I said, why a man can't just want to finally spend money on something nice? Why I gotta be a midlife crisis vehicle? Why suddenly why you gotta vilify him and say, he must have a small piece? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's girthy. Maybe he's got a little girth and he just wants a nice vehicle to go along with it. Like stop car shaming men, ladies. Stop making a man feel like he's less of a man because he wants nice things too. Nobody looks at you wearing 4-inch heels and saying you ain't that tall. Oh, why you hating? Why you height hating? Let people do what they want and stop being in other people's business. That's that's
good. People gonna say this to me in life crisis.
I'm like, he got a family. The car broke down on the BQE last week. You gotta,
He needed to get him, or he needed a car.
He needed a reliable vehicle.
He needed a reliable vehicle. He worked hard and he deserved it. Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna air it out, and y'all already know I've been airing it out on this the whole time. We got to start calling the vice president-elect of the United States by her name. We have got to figure, even if you got to write it down, we have got to figure out love Harris, like a comma, and love. It's not that hard. If we can say WAP, if we can figure out how to say WAP, and we can say all these other names that's going on in this we can say anything we want. But when it get to her, because she a woman, everybody like, what's her name is? Calling her shorty, the lady in the white suit that was up there with Joe back. It gotta stop, and I'm gonna beat that drum until people learn, or either call her vice president-elect Harris. If you can't say Kamala, if you grown and you can't figure out Kamala, I mean, really, you got to get it straight. So I'm gonna beat that drum for her, like we always gotta do for women. We gotta keep beating the drum. I don't know why we gotta keep beating the drum to be heard and to be equal. How do people that bring life into the world ain't equal? I don't understand that part. Carry a whole baby, a whole life. But you ain't equal. So that was my airing it out right there. I appreciate y'all. Y'all been a great guest. I had a great time with y'all.
Thanks,
listen, I want each one of y'all to tell them your social media handles, where they can find you and what they got coming up. Marvin, you go first in the wide world.
Oh yeah. You can find me at comedian Marvin H on Instagram and Twitter, and Marvin Hunter's fan page on Facebook. I'm also writing a book about my Navy Sea stories. So that's what I got going on. That's gonna be good. So, and happy Veterans Day. You know what I'm saying?
Happy Veterans Day to both of y'all.
Happy Veterans Day is tomorrow. Happy Veterans Day. Yeah. And for me, mine is up on my social media. You can find me. I'm mainly on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, but everything goes through my Instagram at IAM Dean Edwards, because that's who I am. Every Monday night, and Dominique did an episode. We gotta make sure we get Marvin on there. Every Monday night, we do something on my IG live, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, called the Father Mucking Protocol live on Instagram, and it's just we've been doing this long enough where you have newer comedians or newer artists just come up and they're always asking for advice. And I'm not big on advice, but I don't mind sharing insight. And so I started doing this during the pandemic back in April. We just had our 30th episode, and we've had everyone, like I said, from Dominique to Tiffany Haddish, Jim Gaffigan, Afion Crockett, Jay Farrell, Godfrey, and the list goes on, Marina Franklin. And I just like having different talented people to come give their insight on their journey to find out what made them tick, how they got into this, and how they continue to thrive. Last night we had Twinkie Bird, who's an amazing casting director. Cast everything from Stomp the Yard to the Clark Sisters biopic that was on Lifetime this past year, and she just had some amazing stories. Last week we had Alex Thomas, and he had and what I do is they're still up. So after we do like an hour and a half, it's on my IG page, and you can watch them. I'm in the process of putting them on YouTube and on Spotify and whatnot. But people just have incredible stories. Last week, Alex Thomas gave the story about how he was auditioning at the Laugh Factory back in the early 90s, and Will Smith happened to be in the front row and hired him on the spot to write on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was working to get stage time at the Laugh Factory, and he walked out of there with a job for 4 years on the hottest television show, one of the hottest TV shows. So, people have these great stories. So every Monday night, follow at I Am Dean Edwards, and you'll get that flavor.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. Happy Veterans Day to y'all.
Thanks, Dominique.
Y'all looking good too. Marv, you got a birthday coming up. When your birthday, Marv?
January 6th.
I'm on the 4th, so I'm going to call you, Marv. I'm on the 4th. Okay, we turn the same age. Yeah, happy early birthday. So, so I'm going to call you too, Marv. So that's been another episode of Dominique the Podcast. And as usual, like I always say, we'll see y'all next week. Same place, same time. And we are out.
Be safe. Be safe.
Y'all stay safe out there.